We can't have an RIP segment if you're just gonna randomly leave people out that you don't give a fuck about. Like that's
yes, absolutely.
That's stupid.
Yo,
It's stupid.
We recorded the one about the Pope, and we were both like, "Fuck the Pope!" Like, yes, we could.
No,
we
you
left
talk.
the Pope
No,
out.
but you still mention it. You don't have to go into details and shit. But for you to just be like, oh, Lisa Marie Presley or whatever.
There have been plenty that we haven't mentioned. It would be impossible to mention everybody.
We mentioned the important ones.
We've definitely skipped plenty of deaths every week.
What is your point exactly? So intentionally skipping someone because you don't like them?
Yeah,
we
pick and choose.
You don't like.
I mean,
I don't dislike her, but what is she besides someone's daughter? What did she do?
She was famous. Okay.
She was famous, man.
For being someone's daughter.
That's okay. So is Ivanka. Ivanka's famous for being
her father's a piece of shit, so I don't give a fuck.
Who, Elvis?
Yeah.
But she married Michael Jackson.
I don't give a fuck about that either.
We already know he doesn't think.
I really don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
What do you have against Lisa Marie Presley?
I don't have anything against her.
She's white. She's white.
She's white.
It's what it is.
Listen.
He also don't like Malcolm X, oddly. I don't know why.
I never said that.
See, right there. I just caught you, Dean. You didn't even catch that shit.
You didn't say that you like him.
I'm defending myself against your claim. I don't have to say that I like him to say that I never. I don't dislike him.
There we go. That's it. I'm like, Dame, yo, check this dope ass Malcolm X quote. And he's like,
I just wasn't feeling the quote. That doesn't mean I don't like Malcolm X.
No, because I read you the quote and you were like, that's a quote. And I'm like, that's Malcolm X. And you were like, oh.
No.
All right. All right, Dan.
I don't have no problem with Malcolm X.
I think you do.
Based on what?
I like how Julian just makes things up.
That's exactly like he's. I'm just throwing darts, see if it sticks.
Patricia, you never pick up a vibe. Sometimes words you don't need them. You pick up the vibe.
Bro, you are 1000% just making this up.
Sometimes I pick up vibes, but sometimes I do feel like you, Julian, create like your own world. Like those Dungeon and Dragon people that create their own figurines and they make their own armies.
I'm a role player.
No, you're
what are they? LARP? LARP burps? What the fuck are they?
Warlock? Something. I don't know. Some nerd shit.
So when somebody says, hey, you should check out this quote, and the other person goes, I guess I'm crazy, right?
Did he make that face after he heard the quote, or who the quote was coming from?
When I tell him, oh, Malcolm X got some great quotes, and his reaction every time is just like,
so.
Then maybe you don't like Malcolm X.
You don't, but he can't. You know what it is, Patricia? He can't say he don't like Malcolm X because then his black card gets revoked.
That's bullshit. First of all,
no, it's the truth.
It's not the truth. You think you think all black people like Malcolm X?
No. You can't say it.
That's bullshit.
There's certain things that you can't really say because the majority of the public is going to look at you side-eye. They're just going to give you the side-eye, man.
Yeah, you're bugging, especially coming up on MLK. You talking about something. You talking some wild shit.
No, I'm not talking wild shit.
Yeah, you are.
What does MLK have to do with this conversation?
Nothing.
Because good. It's like in the black community, you either are on MLK side or you were on Malcolm X.
So
side.
you're just validating Julian's point.
No, I'm not.
On the MLK side, and
no,
not
I'm discrediting his point that I couldn't say it if I felt that way.
No, but I'm going back to his original statement. You
It's
are on the
invalid.
MLK. You just said that the Black community is split between two.
Yes.
So you have been. So
So
you're
what
on
side
the
are you on?
Which
MLK.
speaks to the point that if I didn't like MLK, it would be no problem to say it. I mean, or
So-
if I didn't like Malcolm X, it would be no problem to say it.
Seriously, this just brought up a whole new thing. Seriously. So are you more team Martin or Malcolm?
I'm probably dead in the middle. You know, I have no problem with punching people in the fucking face. I'm not the turn the other cheek kind of guy.
I'm not damn, I'm not talking
Whatever
about
happened to the
violence, bro.
introduction to the podcast? Hi, guys.
I'm saying, I'm asking you, who do you identify more with?
Neither.
As far as
Neither. I would be
Okay.
right in the middle. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Clearly Distorted podcast, where we discuss our clearly thought out ideas shared through our distorted lenses. I am yours truly, Damien, the shower god, joined by none other than Julian, aka the prolificator. And hey, look who's back. It's Patricia,
she's back.
aka the birthday girl.
Happy birthday to you.
That was like Marilyn Monroe kind of stuff.
I know. I kind of liked it. I kind
Oh.
of
His
liked it.
deep ass voice. How old are you now?
How old are you, Patricia?
43.
Hey,
23? Yeah,
43.
43.
43. It's a great age.
Is it? I hope.
I don't know. I'm not there
Sounds
yet.
good. You're not there yet.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Man. It's good to be back with you guys. Good to have you back, Patricia. We missed you last week.
Yes, we did.
I couldn't even imagine that podcast with Patricia on it, honestly. It would have been
It would have been a different podcast.
See, God does things for a reason.
We were a little bit lost in that podcast.
mm,
Me and Dame got into this whirlwind of elections and Speaker of the House. We just went political wonk, like hardcore. Like, it was crazy.
that was bad. Yeah.
Was it bad?
It was
Bad.
good, but
It was a good podcast.
It was just like, it was way too long. We spent like an hour on that shit.
well.
So what's new,
What's-
guys? Nothing? Got nothing? Julian's dropping LBs in the gym.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing, look at that. Even my ESPN notification popped up right when you said that. So yeah, I've been going to the gym. It's been good. Trying to stay healthy
It's
and
dope, man.
live a little bit longer.
It just reminded me of that big pun. Just lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live. You
I
remember
was
that?
gonna say.
So what, a Puerto Rican from the Bronx and
You
or just a fat guy? Like, what is that?
You said you were dropping weight, trying to get healthy, and it just reminded me of Pun, who famously in the song said the same thing. Just dropped 100 pounds. I'm trying to live.
You know what's weird?
Here we go. Here we go.
It's gonna be some
it's-
anti-Puerto Rican shit.
No. What's coming? You guys in nowhere even close to expecting it. So here's the deal. I don't even know if I should even say this. I'll drop the bomb on you guys. You were totally off. So lately, after my workouts,
Oh man.
there have been these physical feelings that I'm starting to get.
I don't know why.
I'm not comfortable with this.
I'm almost feeling like a young man again. And I'm just saying, like, it's kind of changing things and helping me out a bit, you know?
Enough said.
Me and the
Enough said.
wife,
No, elaborate.
Enough said.
Elaborate.
Me and the wife have been getting way friskier after the workouts.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I really don't want to hear that, bro.
I do.
I mean, I don't.
I don't know, like pumping
How?
iron. Oh, how? Oh, I'm not
Sure.
gonna.
Whoa,
I'm not gonna get
wait
into
a
all
minute.
that.
I mean, you brought up this.
No,
You brought it up.
listen,
You
we're not
brought-
doing that. We're
Dang.
not doing what, man.
This is an adult podcast.
But you know what? All right. Here's the problem that I have with topics like this.
Oh,
Really? Okay. Go ahead.
I
You're a virgin.
am not a virgin.
he's getting there.
I'm a very visual person, and I can't help but to picture things as I'm hearing them. This is how my things get ingrained in my memory. And these are images that I don't want to.
So you're scared how you're gonna feel about thinking about Julian like
has
that?
nothing. No.
Are you like visualizing me and my wife, bro? Like,
See,
I didn't even go into details. All I said was our relationship is getting healthier.
yeah.
On the physical end.
But we understood from there.
I didn't understand.
You started with the frisky, and then she chimes in, and then it's like you know where it goes from there.
Dang. What I'm about to say is gonna make you uncomfortable, but I'm gonna say it. Sex.
Is he blushing?
That was pretty funny.
Sex. Sexual.
Feelings.
Healing.
That's what it is. I'm getting sexual
healing.
healing. That's it.
That's great, man. I'm really happy for you. Seriously, I am.
That's like the best kind of healing anyone can ask.
It's motivating, actually.
Yeah. I was saying it to motivate anyone out there who, especially if you're a little bit older and in your 40s and stuff, and you've gotten a little bit out of shape, you get a little bit lazy, and but when you start exercising and working out, it kind of it
invigorates you.
It invigorates you. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Like, it's a good thing.
That's good, man.
You see, that was a nice conversation, nice topic. I wish we would have had more descriptions, but
it was the after workout. The after workout.
The cool down.
Yeah. No.
Or the whatever. Anyway, that's dope, man.
Dane wants to just move away from this real quick. Like,
he started the shuffle. He started.
You caught it.
Yeah, I did.
He's surveying the fucking damage. He's okay. We're still here. We're still good.
He's like, Mom, don't watch this podcast either.
And I know that's what it is, because I know his parents watch this, and he's just like, stop.
Nah,
I mean, too far, Julian. Going too far.
I'm sure that's probably part of it, but it's just my nature. I don't I don't talk about those things with other people because I have to. One day I'm gonna sit across from your wife. Like, this is not what I want. I don't want to be having these.
Bro, I'm not like describing her tits and shit. Like, I'm just like,
I don't even want to know that your wife has tits, bro. I don't. That's great.
Yeah.
You know what else she has?
She has too.
I don't care.
Damien, do you know what else she has besides 2 boobies?
This isn't the number 2, bro. Damn.
I even blushed, and that's.
Is that your cat?
Oh my god.
So we're talking about pussy, and here comes the kitty cat.
Shadow, I'm busy, man. You gotta get out of here.
What's your cat's name?
This one is Shadow.
Oh, that's right.
Well, Patricia, what's your dog's name?
Oh man. Well, it's
Well,
good to be
ladies and
back with the
gentlemen,
both of you.
we are aimless, as you can see.
So, where do you guys want to begin? My cat
From the
won't even
beginning.
let me navigate my shit here.
I don't know. I really don't know where we should start. This is I feel like the first week of the new year we were like flooded with so much news, and
Yeah.
now going into this, second part, it seems like it's the news that's out there doesn't seem to be really that interesting either.
Well, let's see if we can make
we'll
it
see.
interesting.
Let's talk about what we got here. What do you got up there? What's next?
Bhad Bhabie, Catch Me Outside, girl.
Okay, so I forgot her. You had to kind of refresh my memory. So refresh the audience memory if you guys don't know who she is.
So 5 years or so ago, yes, 5 or 6 years ago, she's on the Dr. Phil show with her mom because of her behavior. She's out of control. Her mom can't control her, and she goes to Dr. Phil for help. And they're telling her mom's expressing her experiences with her daughter, and someone in the audience had something to say about it. And her name is Danielle Bregoli, commonly referred to as the Catch Me Outside girl, invited the guest in the audience to
Catch her outside.
It took a long time for you to get there, bro. But
Invitation to her hands. Anyway, she became super popular just for the whole Catch Me Outside. It was like ringtones. It was everything. She fully capitalized on the moment and gained popularity on social media, gained a huge following, got into music, had a little success in music. And as soon as she turned 18, she decided to get on OnlyFans.
What a way to go.
And according to her, within the first night, 6 hours on camera, she made $1 million, and claims that she made 52 million in the first year. But in a recent interview, she was asked about the older men following her, and she thought it was kind of creepy and felt like that they should be in jail.
So what do you think she was doing on her OnlyFans?
They asked her, and she kind of shrugged it off, like she wanted to leave it some mystique. You got to come.
Did she become the Catch Me Inside girl?
Well, I've never been on OnlyFans, but I've read articles about this before, and supposedly she doesn't get nude or anything like that, or does anything. I don't know, but yeah, I really have no idea what she does on her page. But
and how much she said she made?
$1 million in the first night,
and what was the
52 in a year.
I need to get into this thing. I can probably just show my feet or something.
Yo, that's a thing. That's a thing.
No,
there was a girl who was selling her farts.
Yeah.
In a jar or some shit like that.
And
people were buying them.
You know what people also buy?
Used panties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Weird shit. But there's a market for everything, I guess.
My thing is, some people have this fantasy. You see things on TV or internet or whatever, and it's removed from reality, and that's their fantasy, right? My thing is, what about this person that became such of a thing where she was able to have a career? You said that didn't she like go platinum with her music?
Yeah.
So she goes platinum. She's basically rewarded for being a shitty ass kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So what's the fantasy there? I'm confused. Is the fantasy because, hey, I'm a shitty person, I'm sexy now? I'm
No,
a great
I
rapper
think
now.
no, I
Like, what
think
is
it's
it?
because social media like flooded the population with ringtones and memes and gifs and this and that and the other. Like I haven't seen a Dr. I think she's the most popular Dr. Phil
probably.
guest. She's even more popular than Dr. Phil himself.
But how did that how
on
did
social
that
media
translate to fandom?
Because the Catch Me Outside thing became a trend.
That was it right there. The Catch Me Outside, she was out of here. she was out of here just from that.
You couldn't catch her outside.
I think you guys are, maybe I'm not asking the question correctly. When I say why, I don't mean what she did. Why the fuck is what she did getting so much attention?
Oh, this country is, I don't know. I mean,
because in this country, we glorify horrible behavior.
like one of the biggest TV shows is was 16 and Pregnant. Like I can't explain that. I have no idea.
For me, that's the most interesting part of this whole conversation, is not that she blew up and made money, not that, she has an OnlyFans, give a shit. It's why.
I just told you.
No, you explained it, and that's basically what I think about the whole situation as well. But it's got to be more than that. Like, I would like to sit down and have a conversation with a diehard fan of hers.
She doesn't have a diehard.
Well, I don't. Fan. Yeah, I think
you don't make $52 million on OnlyFans without having a fan base. You don't go platinum without having a fan base. Just because they liked her on Dr. Phil, don't mean that they're gonna buy her music.
When she was on social media, like she probably, I would say the last 2 years, like I guess she must have been around the age of 16, 17. She was posting pictures that were provocative. Is probably too strong of a word, but they were not pictures that you would want a 16-year-old to post. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's top heavy, and that's kind of where everything led from there. And then, so
you mean like her breasts were big?
Yeah.
So maybe this is a case of her being self-aware. Maybe she realizes that the majority of the people who are going after her are pedophiles, and now all of a sudden she's saying that she's uncomfortable with it.
Kind of what it sounds like.
Listen, another thing is that something that appeals to, I guess, a lot of men is younger girls. I mean, we see them all in the adult sites, right? Like the pigtails and the
barely legal.
Barely legal.
Wednesday. Addams Family.
That's a thing.
I didn't know that.
I've never seen that one.
It's only the second most popular Netflix show like ever.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with like porn or sexuality.
No, the mean girl, Wednesday, she's like super pretty, and like there's been like talk about how like she's like sexualized.
I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, I guess we haven't seen it, so
I haven't seen the show.
All right, sorry, continue your point.
I don't know what I was saying. I lost my train of thoughts.
Like Wednesday?
Yeah, it's really I don't know what I was saying. Oh my god.
That there's a trend of guys that are
So I don't okay, now I remember. I don't think it's the fact that she personally has a fan base because she said Catch Me Outside, or because she is even top heavy, or because she became a rapper. I think it's just because she has that look, that stereotype of she's actually young, a young breasty girl that's being provocative, and that's sadly what generates money. Look, when Britney Spears came out, what was like her thing? She was dressed in like that little schoolgirl, in a high school hallway, oh baby, baby. Come on. This is what appeals to, men.
Some men.
So you think Britney Spears, what was driving her fame was
Her sexuality.
grown men?
What actually, I remember when Britney Spears came out, her whole thing was how she was a virgin. And that appealed to a lot of people, men, women, men and
young
women,
young
adults.
girls who like that kind of attention and look up to that, aspire to that. Yeah, okay.
I don't think young girls cared if she was promoting virginity or not.
No, I'm
I
saying
think
sexuality.
But she was so sexual on all her videos.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that
Huh.
that's what was the attraction for even the younger girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So my thing is, I don't know what's going on with why some of these people become famous. I guess they do something that's controversial, and I just don't understand what the fantasy is, what the excitement is. I can get an established famous person, even Britney Spears, right, who had some level of musical talent somewhere or whatever, barely, but something. I can understand where, she'd have a fan base. I don't understand how those people who aren't famous for no other reason other than being kind of a shitty person, how all of a sudden $52 million in a year.
I mean, was that even proven?
Apparently she showed screenshots of however they pay her, however OnlyFans pays her. Apparently she shared screenshots of it. But I mean, look how long the Kardashians have been on TV, and this all started from a leaked sex tape. Like that's.
But I understand why Kim Kardashian is as famous as she is.
Why?
Because she's attractive. That alone gets you places.
I would say there are a lot of people who find Bhad Bhabie attractive. Then.
There's someone for everybody, but that's not. It's odd to me.
I don't even feel comfortable calling her Bhad Bhabie. Like that shit just.
you feel dirty, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm just gonna call her Danielle Bregoli from now on.
Bregoli. Anyway, moving on, because I don't really have anything else to say about that. How about you, Patricia? You got anything else?
She's
to
a
add?
hypocrite. I want to say she's a hypocrite. If she wants to come for the men or the adults, I'm gonna say, because we always say, oh, men, dirty men. But if you're like even if you're a woman, and if you're like a 30-year-old woman looking at a young girl sexually, that's still disgusting to me. So I think it's very hypocritical of her to say, oh, these people are dirty, then give up your money. Give it up, donate it to a charity, donate it to, to help, battle sex trafficking or child pornography, all of this. Shut the fuck up.
So as a woman, that's a great point. So as a female, how do you feel about the idea of, a woman puts herself out there, or a man, it could be man or woman, it doesn't matter. And they're selling sex, they're sexualizing themselves, but then they have a critique over people commenting that, about their sexuality. It's just like that former porn star who turned into like a weather reporter, and then she got mad because they were like introducing her as a former porn star, like in an interview, and she was like really disgusted over it. I don't know if you remember that story, but how do you feel as a woman where women are doing things to sell sex, but in turn, they're kind of disgusted and repulsed at the fact that that's what they're known for?
I think it's hypocritical. I mean, I think if you're selling yourself, your body, your feet, whatever it is that you're selling, if you want to sell it, then you have to, you know what that comes with. I also believe that if, like, like you just said, this weather girl, if she was a porn star prior or whatever, but then she moved into being a weather girl and that's what she wants to be known for, then it's almost like she doesn't need the introduction as a porn star, because that's not what she does anymore. She should just be known for what she's doing at the time, and she should not be chastised for what she did, for what she did prior.
No,
But
I thought it was just like because she was known as that, and it was like, oh, okay, interview, this is who she is, and she was
Right.
offended over that.
But I think we have to respect, if she becomes offended by that, then don't mention it anymore. It's her choice if she wants to be offended and she doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
Right. I'm not taking a position. I'm just asking the two of you, what do you think of the whole concept of sexualizing someone, but that's really their business?
If that's their current business, then you just got to take what comes with it. In the scenario of the news broadcaster, if that's not something she's doing, then I don't know why we're still referring to her as that,
Right.
as such.
Yeah,
Especially if she
I just
doesn't-
threw that out there. I'm just saying, like, in general.
Yeah, I don't think it's any different than sports, right? You play basketball and there's a whole TV channel dedicated to critiquing your game. And they're going to say things that may be favorable, and they're going to say things that may not be favorable. That comes with it.
If you put it out there,
Right.
know whether you're going to get things that you're not going to like, you're going to get things from people that you don't like particularly, but you're putting it out there for people to view. So automatically that becomes an opinion.
Got to take
right?
the good and the bad.
Exactly.
That's really interesting, because I know some people, like, you'll say somebody's like, oh, they're always commenting on her weight, right? I'm not talking like an actress or a singer, but I'm talking about someone who's sexualizing themselves to be famous. So if you notice that they've lost a significant amount of weight, or if they gained a significant amount of weight, are we not supposed to say anything, even though that their initial success was because of their body and their looks?
Like, this conversation reminds me of Lizzo.
When he said gain weight, that was the first person I thought about.
Because I feel like she's super talented, right? She's super talented. I like her voice. I actually like her music. I like her beats and everything. But I feel like she always talks about being self-conscious and, loving her body and this and that and the other. But I feel like that's her biggest insecurity. And I feel that if she wasn't parading herself with a thong with her body, she wouldn't gain any momentum as she did just by playing the flute or the clarinet, whatever she plays, and singing her songs. But then she comes off as she doesn't like people commenting on her body, or she'll go on social media and she'll start crying that, people are being mean, this and that and the other. But then you're putting yourself out there for that. I mean, you're really going outside, getting on an airplane with a thong or chaps or something like that, So
I think it was at a basketball game.
No, it was like an airplane. So you put yourself out there like that, then that's the stuff that you're going to receive. And if you don't like it, then you have to just either you change how you present yourself or you take it for what it is.
I don't think that fame, even if you're famous because of that, should open up the floodgates for people to harass you. And I'm not saying that that's what you're saying, but it is a curious thing where I think we see that all the time, especially as celebrities get older, have babies, get a little heavier. Then all of a sudden it becomes a taboo kind of conversation. We just see that a lot. And it's just interesting.
I think with the Lizzo thing, it was a little different. I think she felt like if someone skinnier wore what she wore, then it wouldn't be the same uproar. And so
That's true.
And so I think in her case, it's more, I guess, considered fat shaming. And I think that's kind of the stance that she takes. So she's like, stop commenting about my body, stop talking about me.
But wait. they're gonna still comment. If you look at Beyonce, let's take Beyonce for example, when she wears her like super skimpy clothes or whatever, or Rihanna or whoever, they're still commenting about the body.
Yeah.
So, you know, that you don't like what some people are saying, because I see a lot of positivity when, you know, when she's wearing her stuff. Not everybody's talking bad about her body, is what she chooses to see, but everybody's always commenting. Look at J-Lo. How much are we going to talk about her ass? They're always talking about her ass. That's how she became famous, because of her ass. So it's not like, oh, if you're there, people are going to still comment about the body. So what is she talking about?
She was a fly girl. That's how she got famous.
That's not how she got famous.
I used to notice her in Living Color. I don't know.
But that's how maybe she got popular in New York. But that's not how she got famous. She got famous.
Her ass had a lot to do with it. Yes. Okay.
She got famous after Selena, and not her acting. No, wait a minute.
She hit a new level when she did that film.
Yes.
She got famous after Selena, but it wasn't for her acting skills. It wasn't for her singing skills. And it wasn't because of Selena. She got famous because of her body type wasn't the norm. And her ass was huge, ginormous compared to the asses of like the white girls in Hollywood.
It was the norm. It was the norm in my neighborhood. She was Jenny from the block.
That's why I said it wasn't the norm of the white girls from Hollywood.
Right.
They're like, it was like, I see the clips of, you know, back in the day, and it's like the white people were like, oh my God. And I'm like, her ass is not even that big.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. It's like out there. Yeah, it never was that like really. It was shapely. It was never really that big.
But you know, according to Hollywood Reporter,
Cosmo magazine,
Cosmo, and all that shit, she was like, nothing. No one has ever seen something like that. Which, if I were to, yeah, whatever.
She broke barriers. Anyway, yeah, I find that conversation interesting. Where do you draw the lines when you're commenting about sexuality when it comes to people who are selling their sexuality? So it's an interesting conversation.
The reality is there are no lines, bro.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, some people are sensitive to it, right? Body shaming and commenting on it.
Which there's a lot of that, you know.
Right.
And you know what? Not only specifically to women.
No.
We're probably even worse to men, you know.
I'm sure
men just have it easier. You know, there's a thing like a dad bod. The dad bod. You were
say that.
You know, it's cuffing season. I want a big boy. It's cuffing season. You will never hear, I want a big girl. It's cuffing season, you know.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna say who this person is, but someone very close to me loves the big girls, man. And you know who I'm talking about because you watch his podcast. You love them big girls, and he's not ashamed to say it either.
But what is not to love?
Oh, I'm not arguing. You like what you like, but
yeah,
just saying, you know, men have it a lot easier.
They sure do. Yeah. I mean, if you grow your gray hair, you're a silver fox. If you're a woman, you grow your gray hair, you're like old. Ask Damien what he thinks about your beard.
Damien, have you spoken about my beard, Damien?
Don't ask me about your fucking beard. Ask your wife.
It's just a beard, man. I'm
That's
like,
great.
hey, do you like my cock? Like, it's just my beard, bro.
Ask your wife.
We could be boys and just be like, yo, Dame, like in fact, I commented, I'm like, yo, you looking clean, man. I like the way you. There's nothing wrung with that. There's nothing gay about that. And so what if it was a little gay?
I didn't ask you. I didn't say, hey, Julie, you like my beard, man? I didn't.
Well, what would be wrong with that? Is what I'm asking you.
Maybe he wants another guy's approval because you grow a beard.
That's it. Just, you know, like we boys, man. Like, what do you think?
I mean, girls do it all the time. What do you think? How does my ass look? How do I look? Girls do it all the time.
You're right. That's a very feminine thing.
Oh, don't do that. You're one of those dudes, man.
What's that?
Well, like you're insecure.
I'm not insecure.
You sound insecure, Damien.
Insecure about what?
Like this, like you can't even have that conversation because right away you're like, oh no, I'm not in the gay zone.
Danger.
Yeah.
I didn't even say anything about gay.
Like your asshole starts to clamp up, and
that's where you take it. That's the furthest thing from my brain.
Damn.
Don't ask me about your fucking beard.
But he's not asking you about his junk.
Yeah,
it's just
innocent.
It's like, so wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Damien, if somebody says, bro, do you like my haircut? How does this haircut look? You're gonna be like, oh.
Honestly, I'd be like it's like, wow.
So because your response to me is like, if I say, yo, Dame, like, does it look right? You're like, ask your wife. I'm just like,
no, you
hey, like,
you
she
asked
sees my
me,
beard every day. Like
what did you do? Is my beard disheveled? You said, like, how does
yeah,
it look?
because it looked, to me, it looked a little bit out of place. And your response, instead of saying, oh yeah, you might want to tighten it up here or whatever, or no, it looks fine, you were like,
I mean,
ask your wife.
I mean, I said it looks nice.
Thank you, Patricia.
You're welcome.
There you go. Maybe I'll say ask Patricia, not me.
But I don't grow a beard, so I don't even know what a beard is
I
supposed to
don't
look
fucking
like.
grow a beard either. This is
So you're
it.
a man.
This is all you get.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm misreading it. Maybe Damien's like, fuck you and your beard.
Yeah, he's just jealous.
Don't give a shit about your
beard envy.
your sloppy ass.
I can barely
beard.
get my shit to connect over here. You asking me is your beard disheveled? Fuck out of here.
All right. Well, point taken. I'll shut up now.
I forgot what I was saying.
You got flustered.
Ask your wife.
He did say it very mean, like he was so pissed.
Yeah, like why were you asking me like that? I don't. What the fuck you asking me for?
So Dame, I've been working out like we were talking about at the gym. Do I look any like more buff? Like, do I look?
This is right in the same zone, bro.
Ask your wife. This is gonna be Damien shit from now on. Dame, anytime I get into the realm where you're just like, I don't want to have that conversation, that should just be your automatic response.
Ask your wife.
Just ask your wife.
Make it a hashtag. Make a t-shirt. Ask your wife. Ooh, that could be taken all kind of ways too. That's kind of crazy. Let's make a t-shirt. Hashtag ask your wife.
Ask your wife. That belongs to us, people.
Yes.
So what's next, Dame?
What were we talking? I feel like
we're way off. We went out there, man.
Oh, that's where I was about to go, because we were talking about all of the double standards that are in the world. You were talking about how men have it this and women have it that, and the double standards. It made me think about a conversation we had last week. The whole thing revolved around Dana White and basically domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking back to what we were talking about, and I think it sounded a bit like it was okay for her to hit him. He shouldn't have hit her. And I feel like I said it's not okay, but we didn't really talk about it enough. I think as a woman, if you put your hands on anyone, you should expect to get hit back.
I can co-sign that. As a woman.
And I think if you think that way, it will help you check yourself a little bit. Now, as a man, I still don't think you should put your hands on a woman, but we're not all raised the same.
I think there's and for my personal opinion, right? I know that if I hit someone, if they hit me back, I'm not going to say, oh my God, you cannot hit me because I'm a woman. I mean, I'm disrespecting you. Like if I hit first, I'm disrespecting you as a person, as a man, whatever if you want to say it. But
but the world and the law doesn't see it that way. Most of the time, whether it was a mutual
Not everywhere in
interaction,
the world.
Most of the time the guy is going down. And
I mean, I think if I slap you, I don't think I should get punched.
I think you should expect to.
You should expect to get punched.
Yeah, I think if you put your hands on someone, you should expect someone to put their hands back on you.
She's talking about if she slaps a man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying for anybody, period, man or woman, because the problem is, it's women expect men to be chivalrous still. And those
what I'm saying, okay, forget about the man.
No, because that's what it has to do with. Women expect that the man won't hit them back, and that's why they feel so comfortable hitting a man.
Some women,
most. So I think if you're of the mindset, and this is just a way to help check yourself and protect yourself, if you expect that when you hit someone that they're going to hit you back, then that might negate the situation.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
If, like I said, if I'm arguing with a man and I slap, I'm not even going to say the face. Like if I hit someone or whatever, if we're arguing, not like a joking way, but if we're arguing and I go like that, right, I will expect a pushback. I'm not going to expect to get punched in the face or pushed down and beaten or kicked, but some men take it there.
You can't expect people to respond the way.
No, I know.
Right. So you don't know what's going to happen, and that's why you shouldn't do it.
Right.
I have 2 kids in my house, brother and sister, 2 years apart, boy and a girl. And my daughter gets a little handsy sometimes with her brother, and she'll hit him. They'll just playing around, or, he'll say something smart that she didn't like, and she'll smack him, like on his arm, his shoulder, back, whatever. He knows better than to hit her, but sometimes, he'll push her, or, he'll smack her on the arm a little bit, and it'll hurt her. And she expects to be defended. She expects him to be reprimanded. And I tell her all the time, because I trust him and I know that he's not going to do anything to hurt her. But I tell her, when you put your hands on someone, you should expect that they're going to put their hands back on you. Doesn't matter, boy or girl. Don't feel free to just put your hands on people. If you do not want to get hit back, do not hit somebody.
To me, that's a golden rule. You just don't put your hands on anyone.
But a lot of women feel comfortable.
Well, before I get into
a lot of women feel comfortable hitting, and a lot of men feel comfortable hitting women. Yeah. Because they know that they can overpower, so it goes both ways. Just don't touch someone if you don't want to be touched.
No, but the only reason I'm saying that is because last week we were just focused on, I don't want to say I was more focused on Dana hitting his wife, but she also hit him.
Yeah.
And guys shouldn't have to.
You know what the perfect example of this was? Well, I'm not going to say it because I don't know who started that fight, but.
Well, let me just, we don't know what was going on between them to warrant her slapping him. I'm not excusing her or anything, but as a man, if I'm with a woman and I say something or do something that upset her, and her response was to hit me hitting her back shouldn't be an expectation. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be like something where in this case with Dana White and his wife, where anybody would look at it and say, well, she got what was coming to her.
What I'm saying is, if in that situation she thought to herself, if I hit him, he's going to hit me back, she would be less inclined to hit you. I think women are more freely doing it because a lot of times they think he won't hit me back.
You don't, but we don't.
I agree.
That.
I agree with what you're saying.
We don't know if that was a thought in her mind.
I'm speaking in general terms. I'm not speaking about that situation specifically.
Because that's how we're raised, right? You don't hit girls.
Right.
Like the girls are like,
thing.
oh, I'm gonna hit because I'm not gonna get hit back.
And that's one of those double standards. That's a thing. Yeah. So I'm only saying if more women thought along those lines, then it would probably happen less.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think throughout history, I think women who strike their men, husbands, whatever, I'm not saying it's warranted, but I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is we have to analyze every individual kind of thing before we can say that.
We don't. There's no reason to put your hands on someone, period.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is you can't automatically assume that women feel like they have some protective cloak because they're female. I don't believe that to be the case. I think most women who strike their partners or whatever, that's not the that's not the thought they have going into that. Oh, I'm a female, he's not going to hit me back. Bam.
I don't think that's a conscious thought. I think it's a taught. I think it's taught. It's embedded. I don't think before she swings, she's like, oh, this motherfucker ain't going to hit me back. She just believes that.
But there's so much domestic violence, men beating on women. So if that was really something taught in our culture, you would never hear about it. But the fact of the matter is it's still an epidemic in 2023 where women are getting the shit kicked out of them by men. So like, what is this taught behavior or cultural behavior that we're talking about here?
But that's kind of what I'm saying. And it's not everyone across the board, obviously, but I'm just speaking in general terms broadly. But as you were pointing out, domestic violence is a growing issue. I don't even want to say it's more common because back then I think it just wasn't spoken about as much. But I just feel like more men today are more comfortable with hitting women than used to be.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with that completely.
No way. No way. But in fairness to what you're saying, that's an impossible thing to measure or to know. There's not any stat gathering that's ever gonna give us a even remotely true accurate depiction of domestic violence. Like,
I just feel like I see it more openly. Like we know that shit's always happening. It's always been going on behind closed doors. And mom was always the word, back in the day. But today it's almost like
men used to slap their fucking women around in public back in the day and nobody would interfere. Like I disagree with you on that. Like that shit was very prominent.
I think this goes deeper than what we're taught. I think this goes with when you're little as a boy, you cannot express your feelings because that's not boy behavior. What do we teach our boys? Boys don't cry, or boys don't laugh too much, or boys don't do this, boys don't do that. They're not, we raise our kids teaching, you can't act a certain way, you can't do certain things. And I really believe that's a lot of pent-up aggression. To answer your question,
boys don't comment on other boys' beards. Ask your wife.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That there's total truth to that, Patricia. Men are raised, young boys are raised to have this masculine sort of way about us. And really, that doesn't make you a man. How masculine you are, what sports you're into, how tough you are, what kind of clothes you wear, what color clothes you wear. None of that shit really defines you as a man. That's why we have all of these different gender fluid and non-binary, and that's why so many alpha type males are so like freaked out over it, because it's redefining what a man is, and we should redefine what a man is. Dame, you don't like
Look
that.
at Damon
So,
doesn't like that.
yeah,
at all.
he's definitely got a different opinion on that.
No, I don't. I was trying to process what you. Can you explain that further? Redefining what a man is.
Social norms as we see them today, and as we've seen them throughout our lives, should not define what a man is. So if I came here and I'm wearing a pink and yellow shirt with flowers on it, does that make me less of a man than you?
Oh, well, purple's my favorite color. So I'm talking to the wrong person.
I'm just giving a vague example of
Gotcha.
whatever, like, and we frequently see that. Good example.
Yeah.
If you see, I'll just say, when I say you, I'm not meaning you particular with your kids, but let's say in general, you see your two sons playing with, or your sons playing with Barbie dolls. How does that resonate with you as a man? Now, maybe you wouldn't mind, maybe you probably might have some issues with it, who knows? But there are a lot of men out there who would have a problem, like serious problem.
Yeah, the general thing would be like, boys don't play with Barbies, but a girl can play with Hot Wheels and it wouldn't be an issue.
Right. We have these weird societal norms where we kind of put people in a box, and it's been damaging to men.
For sure. Yeah.
And we know the only thing that should go in a box. What? I didn't say anything.
I ain't going there. Back to the Christmas episode. Yeah, no, I agree. There was a it wasn't Barbies, but there was a point where my son was playing with dolls for like, it was like a short period of time, and
it made you uncomfortable.
It made me uncomfortable. I never interfered. I never like said stop, put that down, but I would just be very observant, like how he was playing with the doll or what he was doing with the doll and things like that, and that shit ended pretty quickly. But yeah, I don't know if uncomfortable was the word, but it just made me start to wonder,
question, or think, right? Yeah, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You guys.
But why would that make you wonder or think? I mean, it's just playing. Even like
just because it's not normal.
But
what does
it
that
is.
mean? I know it is. It is completely normal.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
It's not common.
Maybe that's
it is common. It is common.
As common as
that's not something I've seen commonly.
Like, for example, when I was in high school, Hillsborough High School, I was in the childhood development program, and the school had a daycare, and we had to, program meals and curriculums and this and that and the other. And the boys, these were like 3 and 4-year-old children. And the boys, they wanted to play dress up. They wanted to wear dresses and be princesses, just like, the girls were fighting with swords, and they wanted to be, kings and, this and that and the other. And I learned so much, actually. I picked that course just because I wanted to bullshit my way through senior year, but I actually learned a lot, watching these 3 and 4-year-olds, they just, it's not a sexual thing.
Yeah, but that's not something we would see at home, because at home we're not buying them dresses and shit like that.
Right. But what I'm saying to you, you're saying it's not normal or common. Well, when you put kids in that setting, it is very normal and common. It's just educating ourselves.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You guys want to hear a funny childhood story of mine?
I'm scared.
that somewhat relates to this?
Sure.
So I had a girlfriend when I was young, and I think my father used to think I was gay.
Oh.
Yeah, I think my father thought I was gay or could be gay. I I used to hang out with my homeboys, and we always used to hang out, and that was it. Like, we would just hang out, listen to music, play sports or whatever. We'd play basketball. But my father always seemed to have like an issue with it. I don't know why. I think in his mind, in his old school mind, like I should have been chasing girls, right? So I ended up with
what age are you at this point?
About 15.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
I thought you were gonna say 10.
No. So and the weird thing is like I had done wild shit at an earlier age, but it was just always like, we kept it from our parents. But so by this time I had gotten a girlfriend, and I'm not going to go into details, but basically her mom found letters that we were exchanging in school. Back in the day, they would write the letter, fold it real cute, and then you'd respond. And it was pretty sexual in nature, one of the letters that her mom caught. So this lady goes to my house and presents this shit to my mom.
Oh,
and my mom's like, I'm not reading that shit. And she's like, well, I'll read it for you. And she reads it and starts going into detail about things that we were writing back and forth.
What?
And basically,
your dad was like, yes.
No, well, yeah, don't spoil the story, because that's exactly what it is. So I'm not home when this happens. I was actually out, fucking her daughter. But anyway, I get home, and she's already gone. But my mother is fucking devastated. I guess my mother thought I was some pure little virgin somewhere. I don't know what she thought, but she's outside in the back. And my father, I'll never forget this shit. He's sweeping. I come in the door, I'm like, hey, Pop. And he's like, hey. And he looks so fucking proud without saying a fucking word to me. And he's there just sweeping with this smile on his face. And then I'm like, what's up? Where's everybody? And he goes, your mom's outside. She wants to talk to you. I'm like, about what? And he goes, nothing. And he's just sweeping and he's just beaming. So, I go out there and it's a total different atmosphere. My mother is fucking crying and she's upset. And I have to go through the whole thing. And she's like, my mother, this is so like awkward. She's like, so are you having sex with her? She said her name. And I'm just like, yes, I am. And like, my mother was freaked out. So of course, she goes in and she's talking to my dad, and my dad doesn't look fucking phased at all. And I'll tell you, for about 2-3 weeks after that, my pops was super nice to me. He was cool with my friends when they came in. It was just, yeah. Yeah, so that's a funny story, but definitely a weird thing when you think about it. But so now, how did you guys tell your parents? No, I'm kidding.
I asked my mom before I did anything.
No.
You asked your mom for permission?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Did she say yes?
She got me on birth control, and she sat me and she talked to me about, she showed me pictures about
Diseases.
STDs. Yeah. But I talked to my mom before I did it.
Damn.
Like, I was never.
It's pretty awesome.
I have never been a rebellious daughter. I never went through that phase, and neither did my sister. We never went through the phase of and I'm gonna shame my sister right now. My mom thought my sister was a lesbian for a long time because I think my sister was playing with like Polly Pockets until she was like 17.
Wow.
So when she had her first boyfriend, my mom was almost, I think, like, let me get a hotel room for her.
Oh my God.
She was so happy. But no, I've never been a rebellious daughter. I've always had a very good relationship with my mom. Not like my mom is my BFF type of mom, because my mom, she's very strict, very mean. I was scared of my mom, but we always had an open relationship. Like we discussed, my mom always talked about, if you want to do something, you come to me. No one can give you better information than me. although she is the same person that told me that if you smoke weed, automatically you're gonna do cocaine and die, and so that's why I never smoked weed and stuff like that. But when I had my boyfriend and I was ready, I was like, I want to have sex and I don't know what to do. I don't know. She's like, I got you, girl.
Wow, that's pretty unique. That is definitely unique. My parents used to talk that shit, but the moment any of us were getting it down, like the talks just went out the window. Like it didn't pan out the way we thought it would.
That's tough, man. It's tough. I don't even want to talk about this. Oh man, Julie's 14, and I don't even want to.
Well, I hope you're having that conversation with him at this age.
I don't care about
her.
James. James, we had
How can you not care?
I don't mean it like that. We've had plenty of conversations. He knows what's up, but
does he?
I was gonna say,
What do you mean?
Does he know what's up?
What does he know?
I mean, he knows what he needs. He knows he needs to protect himself, and he knows what the consequences could be. And
does he know?
Yeah.
Does he know the mental consequences, financial consequences, potential health consequences?
Yes.
I gotta tell you something.
Good.
When that conversation time comes with me and my kids, I have one boy, but he's 11, or he's gonna be 11, and I have 2 girls. When that time comes, I think a lot of parents stress in, you don't want to have a baby, you don't want to get pregnant, or you don't want to get a girl pregnant. That's the last thing I think when I want to talk about.
It's a big deal, but there's diseases.
Deal.
There's diseases also.
Thank you. So I focus more on
the health.
Don't brush your teeth before you give head, because you can easily get an STD like that. Those are little details that you should know.
Say what?
Because you're more prone to opening your gums or cutting
your pores.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
Not pores, your gums.
I know, but dude, I got it.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of things. There's a lot of kids that don't, and there's a lot of adults that don't consider oral sex, and you can still transmit things through oral sex.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that parents should talk about and show pictures, show what chlamydia looks like, show what syphilis looks like, show what venereal warts look like, and they can go in your throat. I mean, I remember when I was working in the hospital, we were lasering warts out of young girls' throats. I'm talking about 10, 11, 12-year-old girls. And they will tell you up and down they were virgins because they never had the penetration vaginally. But I'm like, dude, you have a sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
Yeah, we did.
What constitutes being a virgin or a sex act or whatever. Yeah, but anyway, we went off the rails with this one, but great conversation. Sorry. So what's next?
Lisa Marie Presley. I'm just joking.
Damn, you're right, bro. Like you're supposed to be, when I say what's next, you're supposed to be hitting that next topic.
Yeah, but
what's going on?
This is a little bit of a different week than we normally,
But we talked about the topics. You don't want to cover them?
I don't. I have what I have, and that's it. I don't even remember what. I know what we're gonna talk about, but if I'm not prepared on my notes here, it's
guy. Oh my God, you gotta
let's talk about the inflation.
This Damien has to have like a fucking blueprint.
Listen, man. I got severe
flow charts and everything.
Like, I have severe ADD, and
I've never seen you like this.
I can function.
Every time I'm in this episode, I've tried to change this shit like 4 times. I'm like, so what's next? And Damien's like, ask your wife.
Yeah, So you remember the podcast you gave me shit because I was still doing my notes while we were prepping?
Yes,
This is why. Try to avoid this
I
shit.
remember. I'm wrong. Okay, I had to learn.
The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I'll get in you. I thought you were gonna follow it up with me, but just fucking left me hanging. Keith Murray out here wilding out, man.
He is wilding out for real. When I first saw that, I sent it. That was my first thing was I gotta send this to Dame. I gotta hear what he has to say about it. And yeah, he's kissing and telling, man.
I'm disappointed, man. That's just not.
Is he kissing and telling or lying and telling?
Either way, telling part is the problem.
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing G about that.
It's not even that he's saying, hey, I was with Foxy Brown, right? He's saying that he's going into details about how he's, munching a carpet, right?
Explicit details.
Right. And he's going into all these details. And then he's saying how he did this while she was with Corrupt or whatever. That's, even though years have passed and it shouldn't matter at this point now, but I don't know, that he's just wilding out.
Here's the thing though. Both of these women are probably in their 40s, which means if they have children.
Foxy Brown and
Shauna.
I
have no idea how old they are, but they were out 20 years ago, so I'm assuming they're probably around my same age. Say they're in their 40s. They probably have children who are at least teenagers or into their 20s. So just thinking like, this shit's on their timeline. Imagine you're in high school and then this shit pops up about your mom. Like that's fucked up.
Foxy Brown is 44 years old.
See, there you go.
I would die. I would be mortified if someone is out there telling stories about me, even if they're real or not. It's just like what you said. I immediately think of my family. If I have a husband, now if I'm single, they might help me out.
You should be like, yeah, that's just true.
But that's disgusting. Like, you just don't do that, and you would expect something better of somebody in our age range.
And then what's the point? So many years later, what are you getting from it? You chasing something? You clout chasing? Like, what are you trying to do?
Right. He's been irrelevant. Shit, Foxy Brown has been irrelevant. Like, well, what's the point of even like?
It's all disgusting.
I think, and you may disagree with me, Damien.
What else?
I think when I watched the interview, and I watched a good portion of several interviews with him, and he seems off to me. Something doesn't seem right. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's substance. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know what it is, but something is off. I've seen that behavior before. I'm familiar with it. And I have my suspicions, but I'm not going to really say, but something is off.
Well, no, I don't disagree with you there. I mean, just looking at him, you could tell like he's not all there. But to me, that's not, so what?
I don't follow.
So what?
What do you mean? What does that mean? So what?
Is that a reason? Is that excusing his actions? Like, what?
No, I'm looking at him and I'm just like, what? Before he even got into all of that Foxy Brown, coochie eating or whatever, I'm watching this and I'm like, what's up with him? Did you see the part where he's like talking about his dick and how he could be a porn star, and he turns around, he's like, I'm gonna show you, and the dude interviewing him is like, whoa, no, and he turns his back to the camera and he's taking his shit out, but then he turns around and he has his whole arm out of his zipper and he's just doing that. Now that's funny, I'm laughing at the shit, but I'm watching this and I'm like, yo, something is off. Like, usually grown men in their 40s don't conduct themselves like that.
Usually grown men in their 40s don't even talk about the things he's talking about.
Right.
Usually, so it just makes it clearly there's some ulterior motive here. There's a reason why he's talking about things 20 years later about people
to become relevant. I mean,
I don't think that's what it is. Totally.
Well,
but there has to be a reason why after all these years you're now talking about this. You want to become relevant for some reason. You want to be on camera. You want people talking about you, whether your mental health is right or not. I mean, what else could be the motive?
Supposedly
if it's not have people talking about you.
Supposedly he called someone and said, yo, I'm about to set the world on fire.
I think he's been watching Kanye interviews too much.
That's very possible. And then this person came out and said that he had this conversation before he did the interview, and this was planned.
But what's the motive?
Just like you said.
Just to get people talking about you. Some people just like to be talked about.
It's so easy for us to say that. I don't know if that's the case with everything. Sometimes people do it for attention, as publicity, but other times they're just out of their element, and somebody who has a YouTube channel where they can interview them wants to exploit that.
I bet his streams are up.
I bet everything is up. It's just like the other person we were just talking about. You're the shittier person you are, the more attention you get. I mean, look, we're talking about him.
I don't even know who he is, by the way. I mean, I know now because of this, but prior to that, I had to Google who this person was.
He was a pretty good rapper in the 90s. I wouldn't say he was like amazing, but he had a few dope songs.
He was just known for using like intricate or big words in his raps.
And sometimes they didn't even
make sense at all, but it sounded great.
Right.
He used a thesaurus.
Yeah,
to write his lyrics. Well, if you're a man, especially if you're a man of a certain age, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear what you're doing in the bedroom.
Anyway, moving on. Keith Murray, he's wilding out. Grow the fuck up, man.
He deserves to get punched in his fucking face. He should know better. Inflation is going down.
Yes, it is. I've seen some of the reports, and I feel like things aren't as bad as what they were a couple of months back.
Yeah, it was getting crazy. These food prices are still a little nuts, but that aside, gas is down, inflation's down. I think it was 6.5. Unemployment's lower than it's ever been in the last 50 years. Not unemployment. Wages are up. So yeah.
And it correlates to Joe Biden's numbers. His approval ratings over the last month have steadily been increasing. So I don't know if you could really credit him or fault him for any of it, but it is, we are in a global market, and so a lot of different factors there.
There's this thing about chicken eggs been going on, conversation about the cost of eggs and how expensive they are in different parts of the country and shit like that. And it depending on who's posting it, just because I know where certain people's mind frames are, I jump in the comments and see what's going on, and you'll be, or maybe you won't be, but like people literally blaming Biden on the cost of the Biden administration is responsible for the cost of the eggs, of chicken eggs.
It does.
How can
you even correlate?
You can't. So me, I jump in there and I'll just drop some little truth bombs, little facts, or We talk about inflation, which, of course, is another thing that they'll blame on the administration. And when I tell them that, 54% of the increase of inflation is corporate greed, people get quiet real quick. And then, when you tell them, well, this is all happening because we're not able to regulate all of these things because previous administrations have done away with all of these regulations because some believe a small government is the way to go. And so here we are. And so you can't complain about both. You can't say don't regulate the shit and then complain when the shit gets out of control.
Yeah, and you can't be talking about small government and then attacking unions.
Yeah.
No, right?
I just, people are so ignorant. And when you mentioned the global market, like, it's just nothing anymore is just about what we do here. Yes, we have some impact on the outcome of the economy here, but it is truly a global. All of the eggs we consume don't come from America. All of the food we consume doesn't come from America. So you can't possibly think that America has that much control.
There's people that actually, there's a lot of people out there that believe America has the control of everything. And I think there's more people outside of America. I think there's more people outside of America that believe that than inside of America.
Or that there's some secret society in America just controlling. I guess they think we're controlling all the chickens.
It's the Illuminati of chickens.
Yeah.
Fucking on me.
Could you imagine if it's like some Dr. Evil bitch in the background had the plot to just take over all the chickens?
It's a simple fix though, but just people aren't willing to sacrifice. Because like I had posted, I don't know if you guys saw it. I bet if we just didn't buy eggs, if everybody just stopped buying eggs for 2 to 4 weeks, I would bet anything that the prices would be right back to where they were.
I say that about a lot of things. I say that about the NFL. I say that about just even like minimum wage. If every single person who worked at a McDonald's or a Walmart decided we're not working, it would take one day of every employee not to work before that shit was fixed. If every black NFL player said, nope, we're not playing until X, Y, and Z is fixed, that shit would be fixed that same day.
I agree with you 100%.
I believe that.
I agree 100%, but that's a lot harder than not buying something. Asking people to sacrifice their pay is
I mean,
a
wait
lot
a
for
minute.
some people.
It's harder, but because people are scared.
Harder. I don't think
people
it's
are scared.
harder. They're already millionaires. All these people.
No. We were just talking about people working McDonald's.
I see. I thought you were talking about football players. Sorry.
No, just in general. So yeah, if we could flex our muscles in the same way and just say, you know what, these prices are ridiculous. We're not going to pay these prices, and then just live a month without eggs. The prices will go down. Although I will say I read something that part of it is has to do with bird flu outbreak, and a lot of the chickens that weren't having, they're killing off chickens to.
That's going on again. I didn't even know.
For a year it's been going on. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So it's kind of been a trickle effect. And it's the egg laying chickens that are being killed off the most. So it's causing a bit of a shortage in eggs around the world. So just stop buying them. The shit will go back. They'll build up a surplus and the prices will go down. They'll have excess eggs and they'll need to sell them, right? Boom. Economics 101.
How much is the price of eggs anyways?
The national average is like $3 something a dozen, but out in the West they're paying $6-7 a dozen.
I was talking to my friend. We were talking about inflation and stuff like that. He lives in California, and he was saying, because he sent me something about somebody from Spain that's living in the States and how expensive the States are compared to Spain. And he said that he spends $12 for a beer, and I'm like, beer, $12? And my friend that lives in California, he's like, yeah, I wish it was $12. It's 16 over here, and a drink like an alcoholic beverage is like 24. And if you want a good shot of tequila, like not like a Patron or whatever, he said it's 50. But that's in California. That's a lot. $16 for a beer is a lot.
That's like at a stadium or some shit like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. Huh?
What does this mean for Joe Biden?
Nothing.
His approval ratings up.
What does what mean for Joe Biden?
That the economy is
better
the
economy. Better economy.
Oh,
yeah.
of course, a better economy is gonna help him out.
I don't think it's gonna help him into a new term.
No, and a strong economy, 100%.
We don't have a strong economy. It's better than the shithole that we were in.
Unemployment is lower than it's ever been in 50 years. Pay is higher than it's been.
I don't know.
Inflation's going.
I don't know if I believe these.
Well, you can't make it up.
About the unemployment.
The thing with the unemployment, I believe the numbers. What I don't believe is people are still underemployed. So just because there's a whole bunch of menial jobs out there doesn't really mean that the economy is doing great for a certain class of people. So I think that's where you're going with Patricia. We could be skeptical and say, oh, that shit don't add up. But at the end of the day, he's going to tout those numbers, and it's going to make his supporters feel more comfortable in supporting him and independence.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
I understood what you said.
I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
There's so you're saying there's, huh? Please, can you just repeat yourself? Because I didn't.
I was basically just saying that his numbers, as far as like his approval numbers, are going to increase based off of.
Yeah, no, I got that. The part I didn't understand was you were talking about the jobs or the quality of the jobs, or.
So when you take the number of, like, when they say, oh, this is the lowest unemployment has been, right, in ever, it's accounting for, or it's not accounting for, shit jobs that are out there. You could add a million shit jobs to the economy, and it doesn't make the economy overall better for a certain class of people.
Right.
So,
but doesn't that get offset if the average pay is up? How that can happen if it's being.
Well, it depends where the average pay is getting raised. So if you're raising the average pay, let's say with like managers, CEOs, big people or whatever, then if they're adding that to the total of every single citizen, every single class, then yeah, you can say, yeah, well, the average wages are going up, but is it going up for everyone?
Yeah, but I don't know if that would even have that much of an impact, because there's a lot less management than there would be those being managed in those remedial jobs. I
think when you're looking at the entirety of the economy, it doesn't take much for that average to increase, considering how much these people get paid.
I don't know.
I mean, if you account for inflation, minimum wage, if you're comparing it to the 50s, would be like $20-something an hour, almost 30 an hour. So wages aren't really up. They're really up compared to what, last year, 6 months ago. Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, inflation is still an issue. Inflation's still high. Right. So no, we're not going to be at that point, but the pay is up from where it was.
But is it really up if things have gone up too?
That's the whole point, Damien. Inflation is so high, and
we're switching gears here. We were
No, we're
talking
not.
about in terms of employment. Yes, they're making more money, but it still doesn't stretch as far as it used to because of inflation. Clear.
Right. So the idea that wages are increasing is sort of smoke and mirrors. Like,
No,
it's not
because
really.
the inflation rate is going down and wages are going up. So that is an improvement.
Not in the grand scheme of things. If we're talking just in a span of a couple of months, you're absolutely correct. But if we even compare that to what's been happening in the last 2 years, that would be inaccurate.
Well, yeah, the numbers we're talking about are year over year. So it's 12 months rolling.
Right. So how big of an improvement is it? It's smoke and mirrors. It's an illusion. It's a mirage. It's not real.
Okay. So what do we gauge by then?
No, we gauge it. We gauge it by debt. We should be gauging this shit by debt. We should be gauging this shit on how many homeless people we have, how many people are underinsured, how many people are working way more hours for less pay. Like, there's a lot of ways to gauge this shit. Like, we can't just look at the overall numbers that companies are making and what their payroll is and just say, oh, the economy is doing great, it's doing good. Like, there's so many other factors that never gets accounted for. How many people are stuck in a shit job because they need their insurance that the job has so they can pay for their diabetes or their cancer treatments or whatever it is? How many? It's in the millions in this country. That's not a successful economy. That's
mostly due to the cost of pharmaceuticals, though. That's a whole different conversation.
But it all relates. It all relates.
I mean, everything relates eventually.
Just saying. So when we're talking about the economy, yes, Joe Biden is going to get credit for, people are going to say that. But at the end of the day, it's still the same old people struggling, right? Poor people, middle class to lower class. All of these people are still going to be middle to lower class, no matter how much better the economy they keep touting it's better. It's only benefiting a certain group of people.
I saw something where a lot of big corporations are considering or moving in the direction of eliminating certain degree requirements and relying more on experience and knowledge. Yeah.
The last company I worked for, that was something that they did. They were more accustomed to hiring accountants to do certain things, and after a while they didn't want to pay those people the money that whatever, so they just started hiring other people and training them.
Yeah, that's the part they didn't mention, so I wonder how that will impact the pay.
That's horrible, though.
Yeah.
Imagine you're going to school for something, you're training for something, and then they just hire someone off the street and then just start training that person. I mean, I guess it could apply for certain things.
Yeah, that's because that goes both ways. Because if it's something you can train me on, then do I need to
but I don't want a doctor off the street that's learning that got grandfathered in,
or a teacher
do I need to take on the debt? Do I need to even take on the debt of a college education if I can be trained on this job?
Right.
So pros and cons to everything, I suppose. Why can't people just file shit appropriately? Why are we finding?
Do we need a degree for that?
Why are we finding confidential documents in an old office from 5 years ago?
In his car.
In his car?
Yeah, there was some some shit I saw where he was talking about that his car was locked in a garage or something. I didn't catch the whole thing. So, but yeah.
I didn't see that part. I know they found it in his when he
Yeah, let
was
me
after he left office with Obama. He was teaching somewhere, and then somehow the documents ended up there.
Okay, so yeah, classified documents were found in Biden's garage near his Corvette.
I'm gonna be honest, man.
It's not equivalent to what was going on with Donald Trump. Let's get that shit out of the way.
It doesn't matter. No, yes, they found 10 documents here, and Donald Trump had 100. And Donald Trump went out of his way of hiding them and wouldn't turn them over. And as soon as Biden's team found out, yes, they were extremely cooperative and reporting everything. Yes.
It does matter because there's a difference between making a mistake, admitting to it, and putting it out there, as opposed to deliberately taking information you know didn't belong to you and then trying to cover it up. It's an entire
making a mistake.
Yeah, it's obvious that they acknowledged that they made a mistake and they reported it. You don't report something that you deliberately are trying to hide.
I don't think the documents mistakenly made their way to a garage or mistakenly ended up in his school office and wherever else they found them.
Okay, so we're assuming that what exactly that someone put them there with the intention of doing what?
Keeping them.
Them. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was some nefarious plot, but I'm just saying these documents are supposed to be turned over when the administration is done, and they weren't, and that's just the end of the story.
Unless how many documents are there that one or two get left behind?
They weren't left behind. It's not like they found them in the White House. He was teaching after he left the White House. They went to his next job.
That's what I'm saying. But as someone, as someone that has a lot of documents, I'm sure he has a lot of documents, right? You might just forget here and there. Please put this box here. I'm too busy. I'll take it somewhere. I'll take it someday. You just forget.
He's got a staff. Like, look, I'm not trying to make excuses for Biden, but I do think it's a totally.
But it's different from what Trump did totally than what he did. That's why he's saying it could be an accident. It could be a mistake. It wasn't. He forgot. Like you. And the
Republicans are they're eating this shit up. They're trying to make again false equivalency to what Donald Trump is doing, and it's not. It's not comparable.
You think this was intentional?
I don't think it matters. That's what I'm saying.
You don't think it matters that the intention?
I mean, yeah, intent matters.
That was good. Touche. It is, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's a federal offense to remove the documents belong to the people of the United States. And when the administration is over, all documents are to be turned over to what's this organization called? The
Secret Society.
The Secret Society.
Illuminati.
Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Masons.
Anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about, but anyway.
Who are the people?
DEA, FBI, social
CIA. Men in Black.
Men in Black.
Got to turn the documents over to Will Smith.
The archive, the presidential archive.
Oh.
All documents at the end of an administration are to be turned over to the presidential archive. It's plain and simple.
But I think there is a difference between taking something intentionally, holding it and not wanting to return it, than something collecting dust because you're old as fuck and forgot about it.
If you walk into a store and for whatever reason you go in there, you're only going to buy one thing. So you don't grab a basket, you don't grab a cart, right? You just go in there to grab the one thing. and you start walking around and you picking up 5 things, and then all of a sudden you can't hold it, so you stick something in your fucking pocket, right? I'm gonna get to the register and then pull it out when I get there, and then you check out and you leave the store, but you forgot to pay for the item in your pocket. You stole. You didn't intend to.
But did you return it back and pay for it and say, "Oh my God, I left this in my pocket. Here it is"?
No, you set off the alarm and security came and got you and put your hands behind your back.
Damn. You are being unfair.
I'm being very fair.
You're being unfair. That's not intention does matter. Like it does matter.
This is recorded because you're Mr. Fuck Intentions and I'm Mr. Intention Matters. And look at us now. This is fucking crazy.
It depends on what we're talking about. It depends on what we're talking about. In this particular scenario, you can, but it's not right to compare the two things.
I'm not comparing them. What Trump did is.
It sounded like you were.
What I'm saying is it doesn't matter because they both did the same thing.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
They both removed documents that weren't supposed to be removed. Yes, they did.
One is a cover up and one isn't.
Both things are wrong. Okay, both things, like if you said if they're punishable by law, federal law, I can see him being punished, but it shouldn't be the same punishment as Trump. Because I believe one wasn't intentional, one was. The other one, he was very cooperative. The other one was like, no, I'm keeping this and, doing the most out of it. So
I think those should be additional charges.
Yeah, okay. Just give Biden a slap on the wrist and then charge the other one with, because it was a mistake. And a mistake is a mistake,
I believe this happens all the time. I don't believe these two are the first. I believe right now, Bush and Obama are like fucking scavenging through everything.
Because it would be something that it's not uncommon. They have a lot of classified information. I don't know why they just don't shred it or store it as soon as you're done with it. There should be a better system. They should not hire someone from the street. They should have somebody with a degree.
But there is a system and it's just not being abided by.
Okay, then. And I'm sure, and this is because presidents don't abide by anything. The government doesn't. So things leak out, right?
Yeah.
All I'm going to say, because I don't have too much to say on it. I haven't followed it all that closely, but it seems like a false equivalent.
But no, I'm not comparing them.
Well, you said it doesn't matter because they both essentially did the same thing. And that's essentially saying that you're comparing them.
No.
In the same. All right. So what are we saying?
I'm saying Biden removed documents and he shouldn't have.
Okay. Nobody was arguing against that. So.
And that is a federal offense and it's punishable.
Right. And all I was saying was it's not equivalent to what happened with Donald Trump.
Well, I think he has more offenses than just removing the documents that think.
Yeah, I'm sure they're more legal, things, but the intention behind it, I'm pretty sure was different.
All right. Music and movie recommendations. So this is something way out of my lane, but it's attached to something I'm kind of excited about. So French Montana dropped the album CB6, Coke Boy 6, right? It's got like 20 plus songs on there. It's crazy, but 6 of them I'd say I really enjoyed out of the whole album. The Oath featuring Chinks, who is no longer with us. A song called RZA featuring Benny the Butcher, which is he uses a classic Jizza sample, but yet they called it RZA. It was interesting. Another song called Not So Bad, where there's an Eminem sample. Another song called Sliding, which was pretty interesting. And then what would probably end up being a summer smash if this came out in the summer or the hit of the summer, a song called Lemonade by Max B, who was in jail. And it was just announced that Max B, aka The Wave, will be home in April. And I'm telling you, he's going to own the summer. Mark my words. Max B will own the summer of 2023 when he comes home.
That's pretty bold. Diction.
That's all I got from music, man.
All right. I got to
So
pause.
the songs I mentioned, you should
have
check out.
Shakira in there for music too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, you're absolutely correct. But why don't you speak to that a little bit more than you? I think you could speak to it better than I could.
Yeah. So, what's your recommendation, Patricia?
I don't even know the name of the song.
Hold on, I got it right here.
But she has been rocking the waves with this diss track that she released about her ex-husband and his mistress and their tax situation in Spain. And it was beautiful. I mean, people are giving her shit because they're saying that she sounds very bitter. She needs to let it go. That's not what a classy lady does. You know, I think the song was perfect. I think her puns were perfect. I don't even like Shakira, how she sings. I'm not a fan of hers, but I would be listening to this song. I will buy it. I will support it. I would, promote it. I love it. I love every single thing about this song and why she did it and how she did it. And yeah. So, and she in 50, what was it, in 24 hours and on YouTube, she had 50 million views in less than 24 hours, which she broke, I guess, a YouTube record.
That's crazy. 50 million in a day.
In that one day.
Well, that's a smash hit if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
So
and the best thing about it is that it's her song. It's not her typical voice, like, it's, she's trying to get very clear message here. But I mean, she mentions the mother-in-law. She mentions his, intelligence level, everything.
I was skimming through the lyrics, translated, obviously. And yeah, she's got some bars in here. She's got some name flips. She's got some, she's going hard.
She did. She went really
hard. You traded a Rolex for a Casio. Yeah. I love it.
And which one was the comparison of the car? I don't even know what a Twingo
traded a Ferrari for a Twingo.
I don't even know what a Twingo is.
I think that's like one of those little small 2-seater British cars or some shit.
I see. I'm worth more than 222s.
I'm worth 2 of 22.
Because the girl's 22 years old. It was great. I loved it. Because she has been so quiet throughout this whole ordeal. She has been very quiet, but this was perfect. She's been quiet all this time for this specific reason. And now she released a song and it's like the world exploded. So that's my input in music.
Oh, she said this little verse for him. There's a couple of bars. I don't even know what happened to you. You're so weird, I can't even recognize you. Again, this is Spanish translated to English, so it's probably not going to sound as good as in English. I'm worth 2 of 22. You traded a Ferrari for a Twingo. You traded a Rolex for a Casio. You're going fast, slow down, lots of time at the gym, but your brain needs a little work too. She's spitting venom. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. French Montana and Shakira hitting the charts. Jules, what you got, man?
I have 2 documentaries I'd like to share. The first one is called Don't Fuck with Cats. And
Don't watch it, people. This drove me insane. Oh.
Yeah. So I don't want to spoil anything on it.
That was a crazy one.
Yeah, just if you get a chance to see it, just see it because it's really there.
Can we have the recommendation this week, and can we talk about it next week? This drove me crazy for like 3 days. And the ending, I never saw it coming. The ending was I don't think I've ever seen something as mind-blowing as this ending.
I wanted to kill that fuck anyway, but let's not spoil anything. But and the other one is called Going Clear, Scientology and the Prison of Belief. That one I believe is on HBO, and the other one I believe is on Netflix. So don't fuck with cats, or don't F with cats, and Going Clear, Scientology documentary. Exposes a lot of crazy stuff.
Really quick. I know Julian doesn't know. Damien, did I ever tell you how I tried to go into the Scientology building in St. Pete?
Of course you would.
Okay, so yeah.
Wow. I don't remember that.
I was stopped very fast.
Did you see this documentary?
No. I should see it.
So watch it and then realize how much you were flirting with danger by doing that.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I tried to. It's a beautiful building. I mean, I had a couple of drinks in me at the time, so I was a little more ballsy than usual, but I sure did try to go in the building.
I watched.
I'm sure they know everything you're doing now.
Damn.
What's up, Tom? I did watch the Leah Remini.
I watched that one. Yeah.
Those episodes.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just looking for John Travolta, or I just wanted to see, because I saw all the weird people with the blue outfits, and I really thought that it looked so welcoming. I thought that I could just walk in and just be like, "Sup, people."
They put the brakes in your ass real quick, huh?
They did. I do have a friend, and she works in politics, and there have been a couple of functions that she has been invited to, and I have begged her, go and take me as your +1. Like, I've begged her, please, I want to go. And she said, I'm not going to go in there. And if there is anyone in this world that I would not go in there with, it would be you. So I don't know. She's like, I would never take you to any of my +1 political events. I'm like, I'm fun. I'm fine. She's like, we don't want to get killed, arrested, kidnapped. I've begged. It's been years, and she watches this. I want to go. I will go from Turkey to Florida if you tell me I can come with you to one of these events.
Well, thanks for watching. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Leave her ass right at home.
Yeah.
So Dame, what's it time for, man? I think it's time for the quote of the Dame. Quote of the Dame. I gotta say that
the
right.
Malcolm X quote of the Dame.
No Malcolm X yet.
No Malcolm X.
He hasn't done Malcolm X yet.
No Malcolm X yet.
Ask your wife.
Oh no. I'm making a t-shirt now. That's it. All right. Well, I don't know who needs to hear this, but never go grocery shopping when you're hungry, because you're going to grab the wrong things. The same goes in life. Never get into a relationship when you're lonely, because you might grab the wrong things. When you're desperate, you'll grab anything you want instead of what you need. Hope that doesn't go over your head.
And sometimes what you grab, even though it's unexpected, it's well worth it.
There you have it.
There we have it.
Bottom line, just grab away.
Never sit on the toilet when you have to shit.
No, that's when you sit on the
Never.
toilet.
Never drink your drink when you're thirsty. You might
Never
grab
put
the
all
wrong
your
thing.
eggs in one
No,
basket.
I think
You might grab the wrong thing.
I don't think you heard the quote correctly, Julian. You want me to read it again?
It was kind of silly. I don't know if you want to read it again.
I think it was a great quote.
It's a mistake that a lot of us make very frequently.
Right, I get the quote.
All right, then. So
I really like the part of don't get into a
Groceries.
relationship. No, I really like the part though about the don't get into a relationship when you feel lonely.
yeah,
Yeah,
because you're more inclined to accept things that you wouldn't normally.
correct. I also like my part of if you're like at a club in a dark place and you're just walking around grabbing things, see what you find. Like somebody did to Kim Kardashian.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for
That'll do
tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. Oh, this side. There you go. Do that thing.
Peace.
Peace.